Okay, so I just talked you through how to do the introduction. It's pretty straightforward. Now we're going to move into how to write the paragraphs, which is like a little bit more complicated, but it's not super difficult. Again, it's one of those kind of like practice makes perfect kind of things. The more you do it, the easier it is, the less stressful it is, the more it just kind of feels like you're just slotting things into the right spots. Okay, so let's have a look at the body. So each of the body paragraphs will have one paragraph per argument, okay? Most of your articles you'll probably be able to split into like 3 main arguments. And when I talk about arguments, I feel like a lot of people feel the pressure that it has to feel like very like, this is my first reason, this is my second reason. If you struggle with that, I would suggest instead of using the word argument, maybe think about what's the first idea that is presented, what's the second idea that's presented, what's you know, and try and group it in terms of this is all about this, and then this is all about this, and then this is all about this, and that might make you feel a little bit more comfortable with the idea of like grouping it, rather than going, oh, where's an argument? Where does it have that? Okay. All right. So, topic sentences for the paragraphs, okay? I would suggest in each topic sentence you outline what the argument is, so what the first idea that's presented is, and the overall tone that's used to express it, okay? That just seems to be a nice way to begin and set the tone of what you're going to talk about. So, examples of topic sentences. I've got some examples for you. All right, so examples of topic sentences. I've got one pretending like I've written an article. Richardson's article initially argues in a frustrated tone that blah, 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 whatever I argue, okay? The argument that pink socks are delightful to wear is then presented in a light-hearted tone. Here's another one. Coyle then frustratingly expresses that pink socks are disgusting. Whatever. Smith angrily rebuts the claim that everybody likes wearing pink socks. Okay? So these give you a bit of an idea of how it should sound for your first sentence. All right. Moving on. The guts of the analysis. I hope you're really enjoying all these like zombie pictures. I really am quite chuffed with them. I'm not going to lie. So, the guts of the analysis. Your analysis of each persuasive pull, so after you do your topic sentence of the argument and the tone, then you go into analysing the persuasive pulls. Okay? Now, your analysis of each persuasive pull should include the following information. Now, try and kind of switch up the order a little bit to just avoid being so monotonous, but this is basically like the things that you're supposed to write about each pull, okay? Oh, sorry, there we go, sorry. I'm having a bit of trouble there. There we go. Sorry, my computer was just about to die on me. I'm like, no, I don't want to have to refilm this. Anyway, but it's good now, I think. Okay, so each persuasive pull. The first thing you do is quote it. So wherever you've kind of seen that phrase or that word, that you go, yes, that's persuasive. It is persuasively pulling me to believe something. Okay, quote it. Inverted commas. Don't forget them. So you quote it and then answer the 2 questions. These are like the Bible when it comes to analysing argument. If you can answer these 2 questions in depth, then you are doing a great job of analysing. Okay? This will stop you from just kind of repeating what it says or, God forbid, explaining what it means. Okay? Lots of people, when they do their analysis, they often, instead of actually analysing the effect that the persuasive pulls have, instead they end up just like explaining what it means. And that is not your job. Your job is not to translate what the article is saying. Your job is to tell me how it is trying to manipulate my thoughts. Okay? Now, if you answer these two questions, it will keep you on track. So please memorize these questions. I've made you a little poster that hopefully you've stuck in your bedroom to help lock those questions in your brain, hopefully. Okay, so you quote it and then you answer the first question. What does it attempt to make the reader think or feel? Okay, not what does it make them feel, because you can't make anyone feel anything, but you can attempt to make them feel things. And that's what we're looking for. What is it attempting to make the reader think or feel? And then the second question is, how does that thought or feeling make the reader more likely to agree with the contention? Okay, so that's tying the analysis back to the contention, which is what you need to do. Okay, you've got to tell me how this manipulation is actually relevant to the author's contention. Why are they doing it in the first place? Okay, so I'm going to show you what I mean here. All right, here's my example paragraph. Okay, now the green is topic sentence, the red is tone. So this whole green bit is the topic sentence, but it's the green is the argument and red is the tone. And then I've got yellow for the quote. Then I've got blue for question 1, and then purple for question 2. Okay, so let's read it. So I'm presenting the argument here. Andrew Bolt initiates his attack on the changing of the date of Australia Day by factually stating that a date change would be pointless to Australian Indigenous relations. Okay, that's the argument. And he's stating it in a factual way. Okay. Now I move on to my quote. Bolt uses the word pointless in his first point regarding the issue. Now notice that what I've done is embed the quote. I haven't just kind of like vomited it there. I've kind of put a little bit of padding around it so that it flows nicely. Now here's my question 1. And remember, question 1 is, what does it attempt to make the reader think or feel? The use of this word, meaning pointless, is intended to be powerful. It attempts to lead the reader into believing that any such change to Australia Day would not have any effect on the relationship between non-Indigenous and Indigenous Australians, the main reason put forth by supporters of the change. Okay, can you see how I've answered that question? What's it attempting to make me think? By saying pointless, it's attempting to make me think that there's not going to be any change, that it's not going to have any effect. Okay? This assertion, so now I'm answering question 2. How does that thought or feeling make me more likely to agree with their argument and their contention? So, this assertion that it would have no effect, this assertion of pointlessness tries to lure the reader into supporting a no-change stance, as if, sorry, that's incorrect. As if there would be no positive benefit to the change, it seems like a waste of time and potentially a waste of money. Okay, so can you see how I'm tying it back to the argument and the contention? Okay, so those two steps are really, really important. And the more depth and detail you can go into, the better. Okay, so try and find ones that, I feel like this one was quite a simple one to kind of explain, and I've used it so that you can clearly see the steps that I'm doing. Now, once you have done one persuasive pull, you then move into a second. Remember, you do 2 persuasive pulls per paragraph. I would suggest 2 to 3, depending on how much time you have and what kind of depth you're going into. So you might have 2 really great persuasive pulls and you've gone into heaps of depth. Great, move on. If you have kind of done quite brief ones, quite kind of simplistic ones, I would try and do 3 persuasive pulls per argument. But again, it's all up to timing, isn't it? And what you can actually get through. So once you have done question 1, question 2, you move on to your second persuasive pull. So, moreover, Bolt says that, and then I would add in my second persuasive pull for this argument. So I do another pull, and then question 1 and question 2 for that persuasive pull. Okay? So it's quite an easy step. So you go topic sentence, persuasive pull 1, question 2, persuasive pull 2, question 1, question 2. And then new paragraph. Pretty easy. Okay. I'll see you in a second to talk about conclusions.